What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Good here at the House of Masks, where we unbox and review cool shit almost every single day, and today we are completing the bust set. Now, if you've just stumbled across this video and you're curious as to what I mean by a bust set, allow me to explain. In December of 2018, I decided to do a Sid Wilson bust, Sid Wilson being the DJ from Slipknot. And I'd selected a look from a very, very specific photo from a very specific era during their self-titled album cycle. Well, the project itself was so much fun to do and it looked so cool when it was completed, I decided to just do the entire photo. So I slowly but surely started knocking out replica busts of every member in Slipknot based on that photo, and now we are down to the final member. I never really had an order planned out, I just kind of did them as they came based on opportunities such as acquiring certain masks. But with Corey Taylor being the final member, I knew that I had to do something special and something that was going to set this bust apart from the rest. And while certain busts in the collection do have some special features such as Joey's hands, Sid Wilson's smile, or the fact that since Craig is slightly larger and in the middle of the set, his suit actually has all of the embroidery. Now, there is one very notable difference about Corey Taylor as compared to most human beings, and I'm sure that most of you guys already know what that is. Well, I had said item created, and before I show that off, I just want to catch you guys up to speed on this bust itself. Now, as some of you guys probably remember, we did unbox this perfect Ghost Glow conversion. I had this actually modeled straight off of Tattoo the Earth specific photos because that is the era that the bust set takes place in. So this is probably the only strictly Tattoo the Earth Ghost Glow conversion on the market. Michael Dufresne from MD Studios came through clutch with this thing and he hooked it up. So that is the mask. We have the mask ready to go. And then we have some other stuff here that are going to help us complete this bust. Now, first of all, we have the coveralls, and I actually ordered the same exact brand that Slipknot was using. We got the same exact brand and collar, and I tried to get as close as possible to the actual sizes that the members wore themselves. Luckily for me, I know a couple collectors that own a lot of different stage use Slipknot jumpsuits, so I was able to cross-reference with those, and we definitely got Corey's correct size here, a 48 regular. And like I said, it is the same exact brand and collar that they were wearing, so that is the jumpsuit. Next up, this was actually the final item to arrive, and I'm not sure that a lot of people even know this, but Corey actually had pretty neon blue hair during the Tattoo the Earth era, so I've got a nice neon blue wig here. Kind of looks dark, but I guess that's a good thing because Corey's actual hair color is pretty dark, so when he went and dyed the neon, that is pretty much what we ended up with. This was the closest that I could find, so I think it's pretty spot on, and I think that's going to work. And last but not least is the special feature. Now, I hired Scott Blake from Your Dream Creations to create this for me, and it was just a really weird idea and not something that I ever expected to be purchasing. Probably not something that he ever expected to be making. But we've got it here now, and we are going to take it out of the box together. I have not seen it yet, aside from the photos that he sent me. Clearly, it's still in the box. But I think this should make the bust extremely cool. So, without further ado, let me trash my living room, and we will take this guy out of here. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a bust. But it's not just a bust. We've had something very special done to this bust. Alright, so taking him out, he still looks pretty normal. Just looks like a pretty normal bust there. But I assure you that as we keep going, you guys will understand what's going on. So what we've done here is we have created a prosthetic neck to attach to the bust, and this is sculpted to be exactly like Corey Taylor's actual neck. I know, this is the weirdest thing I've probably ever done on this channel, and that is coming from a guy that made collecting greasy chicken buckets cool. But we got the measurements of Corey's actual neck, because that was a big fucking deal back in the day. Corey just had a huge neck and people love to talk about it. And I had Scott sculpt an application for the bust. So the bust is pretty much already wearing a mask. It's just not a mask for your face, it is a mask for your neck. He went ahead and painted it up for me, and clearly I've still got to add the tattoos, but once we get the mask on here, this thing should look pretty fucking wild. I know that it is a pretty wild concept, but I think once we get everything together, you guys see the mask and the coveralls on this thing, it's just going to give it that extra level of realism that wouldn't be there if I had used a normal fucking bust. So yeah, what do you guys say we build this thing? Alright guys, so I do believe that we are finished. I am definitely happy with the end result here, and I'm sorry that that time-lapse wasn't a little more in-depth or more in detail or didn't have any sort of like spoken explanations, but I feel like I can only recreate the same time-lapses so many times. So I figured you guys were as eager as I was to just get through it, so I showed you what I could. I didn't do any sort of speaking or explaining, but it's all pretty straightforward and to the point. So yeah, I think we are done. We're going to take this guy downstairs. I'm going to give you guys some nice up-close hero shots of it. We will stick it with the bust set, and then I will have an updated bust video when everything is done and I go back and make all the tiny little tweaks that I want to do. And that is it for this series. So technically today is the final episode, and the next time you see him will be a giant group shot episode where I talk about the entire project as a whole. We go through and take a nice look at all of the pieces, and then we just end with an epic shot of all of them together. So yeah, I think that is just about it. Thank you guys very much for watching, not just this episode, but every single episode in the bust series, and really any of my videos. I appreciate all of that, so thank you guys very much. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. Definitely probably one of the coolest things to ever hit the hobby, and I'm pretty stoked that I'm the one that got to do it, and I get to have these beautiful, beautiful pieces in my collection. So again, thank you guys very much. Do me a favor and say no to drugs and alcohol, and until next time, we will see you later.
You need a fucking mask on. I hate AJ girls don't wanna ask for. Catch me fucking poppin' wheelies, driving like the NASCAR. Mask on, mask on, mask on, mask on. You might see him off in traffic, he be moving around. I hate AJ good, tagged it all around the town. I hate AJ good, I hate AJ good, I hate AJ good, I hate AJ good. You might see him off in traffic, he be moving around. I hate AJ good, tagged it